Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. You are welcome to my YouTube channel, Hafazfaz Tech. My name is Abubakar Siddiq Mustafa. In this tutorial, I will be walking through from the fundamental basics of web development. I will be using the W3 Schools content to guide you all. The theme of this tutorial is Mastering HTML, a step-by-step tutorial for complete beginners. If you know you are a beginner and you want to start your career path on tech, on web development, this is the best YouTube for you. Kindly like, share, and subscribe. So we are starting from the HTML, and we will be using the W3 Schools content to do this tutorial. Before we get started, you have to understand something, and which is the languages of the web. Basically, we have three main languages of web, which are the HTML, the CSS, and the JavaScript. The HTML is an acronym of Hypertext Markup Language. Then the CSS is Cascading Style Sheet, or the third one is JavaScript. HTML is the structure of web. Every product has its own structure. If you have to create something, the first thing you have to think of is how will the product look like? How will this? Even we as human beings, we all have structures, and the structure, our structure is our skeleton, right? So it's our skeleton that's defined how we look. So basically, HTML is the structure of web. That's what will determine how your web will look like. We've all known what web is used for. Everything now, if you want to apply online, if you want to browse online, so all these things, they are created with web. So now these are the three major languages you have to know before you get to know how to start your web development and how to create something like that. So HTML is Hypertext Markup Language and is the structure of the web. It's what will tell us on how the web will look like. So now, before we get started, this is an introduction part of the tutorial. So now the first thing is HTML means Hypertext Markup Language and is the standard markup language for web pages. That is the language that will be interpreted to the computer, while the computer will output for us as a result. And then the full meaning of HTML is Hypertext Markup Language, which I will later explain in my next video. The meaning of hyper, the meaning of text, the meaning of markup, and the meaning of language. Mind you, this language basically doesn't mean that HTML is a programming language. HTML is not a programming language, but rather is a language, or is a markup language for web. That's the language we use to define our web structures. Now, HTML is a standard markup language for creating web pages, and it describes the structure of a web, and it consists of a series of elements. And elements tells this browser how to display the contents. Now, HTML element label pieces of content, such as this is heading, this is a paragraph, this is a link. Now, this is the HTML structure, and this is how it basically looks like. That this is the structure. We are starting from the HTML, then after the head, then the body, and then the closing tags. Now, what this basically means is that all these things in less than and this greater than, they are the markup for the web. They are the markup of the HTML. These are the things that are interpreting what the content behind this markup. They are the one interpreting it outside the web. So, like what I've said, this is an introductory part. You will get to know more in my coming next video, the full details on HTML. Kindly make sure you like, you share, and you subscribe. Thanks very much.